Dear students, it's the fifth video for the week 6 and we still are covering the population settlement in the different areas of Pakistan in the different phases. Well, in this video we will cover two phases of Pakistan. Number one, the phases after 1980, phases in the Musharraf era, and most recent phase. In these two phases in 1980, people before 1980 or around this, most of the population, and it is still that most of the population of Pakistan is in villages. Clear? Punjab, there are larger villages, whereas in KPK, Balochistan, Sindh and other regions of Punjab, similar position is Gilgit-Baltistan, Skardu, Chitral, Dir and Kashmir, that most of the people would live in their own areas in the villages. But at the time, after 1980s, when the civil right emerged, as I in the previous video expressed, that Zulfikar Ali Bhutto gave the right of acquiring land and selling land to a common person. It revolutionized the people. Okay, people didn't have the land and they were also suppressed by the landowners. They started collecting money and they purchased their house. Now they were open to move to cities and work, and they made their offspring, generations to read, and the schooling started. Plus there are many other factors that contributed. Okay, the most important cities at the time were Lahore, number one, Faisalabad, Peshawar, Rawalpindi, Multan, Karachi, Hyderabad, Sakkar, Quetta. These regions were thickly populated. They started going populated. Why? Because Lahore, it was the centuries old and the center of culture and all of the Punjabi region and the affiliated regions. It was also the center of film industry, culture, literature, movements, innovation. Faisalabad was established by the Britishers as second Manchester, as an industrial city. It was another planned city. Okay. Similar planned city was established like Sargodha as their second Air Force command. Because of its strategic positions, they established their base. Clear? And it was in a Kent area. Multan is a prehistoric area. Rawalpindi was established as a Kent area to settle their army, because there were two headquarters. One was Dehradun now, which is the headquarter of Indian Army, and the second was Rawalpindi. It is the headquarter of the Pakistan Army. Right? So, and Karachi from prehistoric times till now, in British time, became the Paris of the South Asia and was a wonderful city, and it accumulated more and more population. Okay, with the emergence of education in 2001, when Musharraf came and they established roads, new opportunities of the education were offered to the students. The pressure on these areas emerged. Fine. Another problem of the population in the urban areas became when terrorism spread in Karachi, Balochistan, KPK, and in the war of terrorism. Most of the regions were utterly unsettled and disturbed. People flee to these areas and they started settling in Karachi, little bit Multan, Lahore. Especially the pressure was on Rawalpindi and Islamabad. You find that more of the Pakhtun population is Pakhtun are working in the mills and factories and on the markets in Punjab, especially in Rawalpindi and affiliated cities, and there are many more in Lahore too. So this was a change, cultural mix and a change. Okay. The other issues which are there that in the highly thickly populated cities, number one, Karachi is highly unsettled, extremely polluted nowadays because of the overburden, mismanagement, corruption, dishonesty, and many reasons are there which made the Karachi a worst city. And similarly, Lahore and Faisalabad became more polluted city and overburdened. But in the times of Nawaz Sharif, some efforts were made to clean these cities. Fine. Peshawar took the more pressure of the KPK population, whereas the most population from Balochistan centered in Quetta. Okay, Quetta is already not Balochistan is not a well populated area, was the area is much more. Okay, here the population density according to a survey in 2000, zero population in some areas you find in Balochistan, a little person, 1 person per square kilometer, it is also 25 persons per square kilometers. You find that these areas mostly in they are also in Balochistan, and some of the areas in Thar and in the Sindh. These areas mostly are the deserts, or they are the desert plus the Raji trains. These pink 100 to 50, and you find that most of the Punjab region is over 250 and 1000 these areas where I have shifted. Okay, owing to this population, there are many problems, there are many issues. That number one, sanitation, road, pollution, noise, okay, law and order situation. But these population settlements also play a vital role in the politics and the religious movements. For example, in Punjab, politics, the Bradri based politics make a huge difference. For example, in Lahore, normally the Arains are there or Butts are there, so Lahore is won by them. Clear? Similarly, the kinsman and the Bradri based politician is more in Punjab as compared to Quetta and others. In these areas, the Sardars and others for the centuries, they become the leaders. And similar position is in Kashmir, that people are also there and there is no traces of the traditional land owning in the KPK and in Kashmir, Gilgit and Baltistan. I hope that we have made a long discussion. These discussions have been expressed in these notes precisely, but not in that detail. You have to read yourself the books and content for the more confirmation. Thank you very much.